Hey everybody, I'm Amanda Ruitha. I'm the Senior Product Manager with Product Planning here at GitLab. And today I want to walk you through how I use start and due dates on epics. I'm also going to share some background about how it works and why you might use one over the other. So let's talk about the dates. Specifically, inherited dates set on an epic will inherit the earliest start date and the latest due date from its child records. And children records of an epic can be both epics and issues. The information that it's pulling from an epic is the actual start and due date of that sub-epic. And those sub-epics could be using fixed or inherited for purposes of passing that date up to the parent. For child issues, there's a number of different kind of date-related data points on the issue, but the only one that's observed for inherited dates on an epic parent is the milestone start and end date. So really want to point out that if you're using due date or iterations on an issue, those are not passed to the epic parent at this time. But this is something that we are planning on changing once we migrate to our new backend framework of work items. Okay. So the dates that I'm talking about on epics are these. On the top right, you'll see something called start date and due date, and then options for fixed or inherited. On an issue, it's only the milestone, not iteration, not due date. And if you want to see what the start and end is of a milestone, you can click on it and you can get into the milestone page, which will show you the start and end dates in two different places here. So you might be asking, why would I use inherited versus fixed? And I went too fast there. Okay, so epic dates are really important to me as a product manager, and I use them a lot because more than anything, they help me plan my near term, like what am I doing this milestone next and next. And also in some cases, longer term roadmaps. When I'm thinking about, the next 3 quarters or a full year, I want to kind of play with the puzzle pieces that are my large initiatives on the roadmap and decide which is going to come first. But, a lot of times I get the question, which of those epic dates should I use? So I think about this in the stages of planning or the product dev workflow. So if you're still in the really high level planning stage, you're not breaking down that feature or initiative anytime soon. You're just thinking about what am I going to do for the next 6 months or a year? You're looking at a longer horizon. Use fixed dates. Why? By using fixed dates at this point, you're going to be able to use the roadmap. If you don't have any dates on your epics and you navigate to the roadmap, it's going to be blank because a roadmap is displayed by dates. And for better or worse, if you don't have any dates on your epics, then the roadmap's going to be non-useful for you. So in this case, use fixed dates. You're going to enter on those fixed dates the kind of earmarking of when you think you might be planning these particular initiatives or features. And while your confidence of actual delivery dates will be lower at this point, you're going to be able to make those high-level plans for this longer period of time. When you enter the work breakdown flow, you want to change the dates on the epic to be inherited and let the system do the rest. So before the work gets broken down or it's about to get broken down, flip it from fixed to inherited. And what's going to happen is everything, all the work that gets broken down beneath it is going to receive, if you perpetuate the inherited model to the sub-epics, and then you're using milestones on your issues, all of that's going to flow up to your parent. And what this is going to do is kind of a set it and forget it mindset. You don't have to deal with the dates anymore as long as people are adding a milestone to your issues and all of your sub-epics are set to inherited. And your roadmap will provide you with a higher confidence of the estimate of when this project is going to deliver at that point. I should mention that you can have a mix and match. So you could have the ultimate parent epic be inherited, but a sub-epic be fixed because it's not being broken down yet, but a different sub-epic being inherited. So there's no problem with mixing and matching types of dates. Just know that whenever you've set something to fixed, it's going to expect you to update it. The system's not going to take over for you when things get broken down. So why are these dates helpful? So I mentioned the roadmap a lot. So once you come to the roadmap, you can see the dates, whether they're fixed or inherited, here in this left bar, as well as when you're hovering over one of the titles of those work items. So you can see it there. Again, I want to reiterate that the roadmap works with both fixed and inherited. So again, depending upon where you are, this particular project I'm showing you is like deep in the weeds of a project that's been going on for a while. So we're definitely using inherited for this one. All right, I just want to highlight where we're going, kind of what's the roadmap for dates with epics in the future. And so beyond expanding them to pick up data for iterations, for example, we also want to expand the feature to allow for using fixed as planned dates and inherited as actual dates, so that you could use both of them together, right? You could actually set a fixed date as the plan that you're making, like let's say you're doing that long-term planning, and then as the work gets broken down, it automatically inherits the actual dates. And what this will allow you to do is view the difference, right? You can see quickly at this point, how far ahead of schedule are we? Or how far behind are we? Or doing a look back, something's delivered, but what was that delta in planned versus delivery? So if you want to learn more about this issue, please do react with a thumbs up, because that tells us that there's interest. Comment if you want to add any of your use cases. And if it's something you'd like to see, toggle on the notifications to get updates on it. So it's GitLab issue 23155. Thank you so much for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on any issue. You can find me at Amanda Rueda on GitLab, and I look forward to chatting with you.